What's going on, everybody? My name is LILWOOLEY, and recently I've been dusting off the old 360 and playing some Black Ops 2, and I've really been loving the experience going back to Black Ops 2. Some of the gameplay you're seeing is from last week, some of the footage that I captured, but I've been really loving going back to Black Ops 2, playing it, and it kind of made me remember some of the reasons why personally I consider Black Ops 2 my favorite, why other members of the community say that it was the last good Call of Duty, and why very few people consider Black Ops 2 to be a dark time in the Call of Duty series. Very few people really dislike this game. And I just wanted to go back and talk about Black Ops 2 and what made Black Ops 2 so memorable and what made it so special. And if you guys want to join in on the conversation, please go down in the comment section below. What made Black Ops 2 so special in your mind? Also, while you're down there, go ahead and leave a like and hit subscribe if you're new. But let's go ahead and get into the conversation. Now, before anyone says anything, I'm just going to throw out the whole, oh, you just like the game because you grew significantly because of this game. Not necessarily. Going back, looking at my stats, I grew more during Call of Duty Ghost than I did during Black Ops 2. And anyone that knows me knows I hate COD Ghost. Black Ops 2, yes, I did grow quite a bit. I did grow rather significantly. My channel was in its infancy whenever the game came out, so obviously that's where, some of the early growth came from. But it wasn't necessarily my best year, and it wasn't necessarily the reason I enjoyed the game. But I just wanted to throw that in there, just in case someone wants to try to discredit me for whatever reason by using that. So let's talk about one of the first things we notice, and that is map design. The design of the maps in Black Ops 2, pretty iconic, pretty Treyarch-ish for what was, at the time, their basic 3-lane system. Treyarch always had this sort of unique, maybe not necessarily unique, but they always had this pattern of doing a 3-lane system with their maps. And every single one of their maps in this game, in one way, shape, or form, had a 3-lane flow to it. Some of them, had multi-tier 3 lanes. Some of them had, maybe a little bit of a bend here, maybe some more coverage on this map, and maybe less coverage on another map. But they all kind of fit the same pattern of a 3-lane map. And these maps, while they're simple, they're usually the most fun, and they are usually the ones that get remembered the most. And whenever it comes to any sort of competitive mode, most people enjoy the 3-lane system rather than the, oh my god, let's just run around and be chaotic all over the place and have like 20 different flanking routes. And I think the map design and the way that the maps were thought out really helped this game. A lot of people enjoyed a lot of the maps. Slums, Standoff, Hijacked. You name the map from Black Ops 2, more than likely people enjoyed that map. There was very few maps that people looked at and went, that map was terrible. Very few. Even in the DLC, there was very few maps that were considered horrible. Now, from there, let's talk about weapon balance. Weapon balance was, it was up and down with Black Ops 2 for sure. But I think whenever I talk about weapon balance, I think about the viability of some weapons. Yes, the MSMC and the M8A1 were the most popular in the pro scene and probably two of the best weapons in the game. But you could go with, in the assault rifles, you could go with the AN-94, you could go with the M27, you could go with the M8A1, you could go with the Type 25, and you could go with just about any of the guns in the assault rifles if you're an AR player, and do pretty well with any of them. Maybe the SWAT 5.56 was probably the only one that really wasn't viable, but you could go with any of those ARs if you're an AR player. Same if you're an SMG player like myself. You had the MSMC, which was pretty much the gold standard of SMGs, but you could go around with the PDW, you could go around with the Vector, you could go around with the Scorpion, and you could go around with just about any of the SMGs. You can even go around with a shotgun. You could even, snipe. I mean, the viability of every gun was paramount. And you could even go pistol only in this game and do a decent job. The weapons were very well balanced, and if you played the right style, they were very viable. And that made Black Ops 2 one of the most fun games to play, because you could switch guns constantly and still have a good chance of doing rather well. And it wasn't just the same old boring, oh, let me pick up the AK-47 and let's go and do the same thing over again. No, you could switch it up with the guns, and that made the fun last just that little bit longer. Another big thing with Black Ops 2, the score streaks and the score streak system. First off, let's remember, Black Ops 2 was the first game where the idea of score streaks came from. Remember, it was kill streaks or point streaks. Now we have score streaks, and the score streak system made being an objective player that much more fun. If you were an objective player, you were rewarded more for your PTFO style, because you got extra points for capturing a point, for defending a point, for attacking onto a point. You were given, more points based on if you captured a flag, if you got a hard point. If you were an objective player, you love this system, and as an objective player myself, I love this system. So, to me, the score streak system was a big change. It was something that brought Black Ops 2 up a bit, and also the score streaks themselves were very viable. There were very few score streaks where someone could look at it and go, yeah, that's not even useful, let's just go ahead and get rid of it. But most of the score streaks were very well viable, and some of them were a bit annoying. The 100 killer drone, let's be honest, the paper airplane that went boom, that was a bit annoying at times, but it was counterable. But then again, if you got it, there was a good chance you were going to get a kill. So, give it take a little bit. Now, speaking of systems, let's talk about the Pick-10 system. Black Ops 2 was the first game with the Pick-10 system. This revolutionized Call of Duty to a massive degree. If you don't remember, the old system was primary, secondary, grenades, you're done. With this system, you get to choose how many perks you had. You got to choose if you took a primary or a secondary, or if you could go knife only. You can go grenadeless. You could go pistol only. You could do just about anything with this Pick-10 system, and you can make a class based on it. And this was fun. If you did not want to go with a primary and you just wanted to pull out the B-23R and see what you could do with it, you could do that and give yourself an extra perk, or give yourself an extra grenade, or give yourself an extra attachment on your secondary. Whatever you wanted to do, you could do with the Pick-10 system. Now, future games would kind of mess with it a bit, but I think the best implementation of the Pick-10 system happened with its original game, which was Black Ops 2. Now, the last one, and this is the last one I'm going to touch on, the variety of game modes. I think a lot of people, when they think of the game modes, obviously we're talking about, the basic ones, TDM, capture the flag, domination, the party games, all that stuff. But I think people forget that this is the game that introduced us to Hardpoint, as well as added League Play. If you guys remember League Play, you guys, that was a fun time if you were a competitive player like myself. Maybe not competitive in the sense of being a pro, but you got to go into games and play in the same rule sets as the pros. You got to get rid of some of the BS that was still in the game, like claymores or whatever, but you could go in and play in a very similar rule set as the pros, or if you just wanted a casual game experience, you could go into regular TDM or play hardcore. The type of game modes that you could go into were just almost endless, and they were just, the variety was there. The fun was there, and if you wanted to be tryhardy, if you wanted to pull on the sweatbands, you could in League Play. If you just wanted to sit back on the couch, you could. It provided a lot of variety and provided a lot of depth to the game. And to me, that, along with everything we talked about in this video, made Black Ops 2 special. I think that's why I keep getting drawn back to it. And I think that's why a lot of people, including the 20,000+ people that were on Xbox Live on the 360s playing this game, we're still there playing the game. I think a lot of people look at this game and they connect to it really well, and they love this game, and I think that's why they keep going back. But anyway, guys, that's my time. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like. Make sure to subscribe if you're new, and tell me what made Black Ops 2 special to you. Let me know in the comment section below. But my name is LILWOOLEY, and I'm out. Peace.